If you've been watching my anime previews since I first started doing them, you'll have come to expect a certain amount of professionalism in them. Not much, I hope, but some at least. Well, that's out the window, because this time I'm looking at 5 new shows, because this is the final episode of a 2018 summer anime preview, from a different perspective. Let's get straight into it with the first new show of the 5. Lord of Vermilion, The Crimson King. Now, when I see the title of that show, my mind immediately jumps to terrible, terrible places. I mean, the fact it's got Vermilion in the title, it's just red. Well, it's a different shade of red, but it's red. Don't call it Vermilion. What are you, some kind of tuny bullcrap? Actually, yes, that's exactly what this is. This is some tuny bullcrap. You can probably tell that by the first few moments we see a ginormous red moon in the red sky. And loads of random people are fighting for no apparent reason. There's blood everywhere, random crazy hairstyles, pieces of clothing which seem to go on for miles. Really, this seems to be like they've put all the possible tuny tropes into a bag. Rather than just picking out one or two, just dump the entire load all over the show. And that seems like what this show's about. It's like dumping a load over your anime screen. But I suppose we should really talk about the plot. Meet our main character, Chihiro Kamina. Now, you can tell he's our main character because he's a smarmy bastard in college. And he's going to college reading Shakespeare. Yep. Somebody's got a bit of a thing for wanting to be popular and looking smart. Looking smart, that sounds brilliant. What about his intelligence of this show, actually? And that's when things start going crap. There's a ginormous ringing bell and everybody sort of falls over dead or fainted. Some people don't wake up, some people do, and about 5 months later Chihiro finally wakes up. Except the world is no longer what it used to be. He's in this crazy hospital with this mad scientist doctor and a nurse who has got an eye patch and wants to basically hit him every time he does anything. Well, I mean, he does his voice by Ariyuki, which is a bonus. But, yeah, other than being hot, yeah. And suddenly the red mist has descended over Tokyo. And there's a really bizarre tentacle plant thing attacking all the buildings. But it's okay, because people are living fine on the outskirts of Tokyo. Life goes on, as they say, despite the murder, death, kill mist in the middle of town. But this is when things start going mad, because everybody seems to blame him for doing it, because he's the last person to wake up. To be honest, I have no idea, but some reporters have got it out from him anyway. Basically, the entire world revolves around this one guy. Our main character. Seriously, if this hasn't put you off watching this show, I don't know what will. If you do want to watch this one, go ahead. I don't really recommend it, but it's on Crunchyroll. You guys know me by now. I'm Fuds. I'm the guy who likes sweet, nice, happy Yuri stuff. And from the looks of it, this is exactly what we've got from Happy Sugar Life. I mean, the poster of it has got 2 very cute little girls. Well, one's a very cute little girl, one's a more grown up girl, but just 2 girls, very nice together. It does come across as a very pastel coloured, happy-go-lucky Yuri show, and that's how it appears to be, because we've got our main character Sato, who is living a happy sugar life, a happy ever after. She's found the girl of her dreams. She's found Shio, the most adorable little girl in her life, and just going about living her life with her. Of course, she's having to work jobs to get by. She can't afford to live a happy sugar life on her own, can she? So she has to work, and whilst that does keep her away from Shio, Shio's always very happily waiting for her when she gets home from work. And it is a beautiful, beautiful partnership. Nothing can get in between them. Unfortunately, Sato has a history of being a relatively loose girl, let's put it, before she met her dream girl. But that's out the window now because she's got no time to be loose. She doesn't care about other guys. Because now she's got Shio, the most adorable little thing ever. And nothing's going to get in between her and Shio. Although her reputation for being quite easy, being quite loose, catches up with her. Because in a new workplace, one of the guys start hitting on her. Oh, and the boss doesn't like that because the boss has got her eyes on everybody. The boss thinks everybody should love a boss and nobody else. And so the boss starts picking on Sato, which is not on at all. I mean, what's Sato ever done except be pretty and beautiful and previously easy? And because the boss is doing it, all your people who also have to worship the boss also start picking on her. She has to work late, and she's kept further and further away from her beautiful Shio. And then things start going awry. She notices that her pay packet does not contain extra money for the overtime. She's being blamed for things she hasn't done. And then she snaps. She's being kept away from her beautiful darling Shio. She's not being paid for it, so she's not making ends meet. And things are going in a pan. And so she snaps. And suddenly you see just how scary this show can be. Because while it looks like an absolutely beautiful, pretty, Yuri, pastel-coloured dream, that dream is actually a nightmare. Because, yes, Sato does love Shio. She loves her so much she'll do anything to be with her. Even killing Shio's parents and hiding the bodies. Chopping the bodies up into tiny parts. Hiding them in a locked room. Threatening to murder the boss if she doesn't give her the money she's due. Because Sato's love is unstoppable. It's scary. Love is a scary emotion. Especially when it turns into stalker-like levels. And that's what Sato has become. She's basically Shio's love stalker. But Shio's happy. Shio's loving the life. Shio loves Sato, Sato loves Shio, everybody loves each other. Just don't get in my way, otherwise there will be a pile of pastel-coloured blood on the floor of Amazon streaming services. Because you can watch this over on Amazon. Last season we had a fantastic diving show, as in not swimming pool diving, actually underwater diving in the form of Amanchu. This season we've got another diving show. But this one takes the approach from a completely different angle. Welcome to Grand Blue Dreaming, a diving show airing on Amazon. And meet our main character, Iori Kitahara. When we first meet him, he's a relatively scrawny person just starting college university. He's going to live with his cousins who he's not seen in ages, and they run a diving school. And lo and behold, the university's diving club has a base set in the same place where he's going to be living. And of course he's not seen his cousins forever, so he's forgotten what they look like. And lo and behold, they are beautiful women. But that's not what he gets to see and walk into when he first enters a diving club, because you'd think a show like this, first thing you should see going to a diving club, open the door, and what you see? A naked cousin changing. No, he opens the door and sees butt-naked university guys drinking. They're butt naked because that's the way they play rock, paper, scissors. I don't think I like the sound of scissors in that game, but rock doesn't sound that pleasant either. And so this is an anime about idiots and diving. And the idiots just keep on growing throughout the entire show. As we move on to Iori, he doesn't want to get involved, but he ends up getting involved and he ends up getting drunk. His cousins think he's an idiot, and he wakes up the next morning, the first morning of a new semester, absolutely almost butt naked, has just his boxer shorts on, and has to go to classes in just his shorts. Yeah, he's not exactly making the best first impression. But again, neither is his other friend. Well, he becomes a friend anyway, who goes to class the first day wearing a ginormous anime t-shirt. I mean, who would be seen dead wearing an anime t-shirt? What? one thing leads to another. He ends up getting drunk again, ends up getting naked again, and a lot of the joke is around, a lot of humour is around him getting naked, him getting picked on and egged on by his new club mates, and his cousins finding him absolutely an idiot. Because that's what this show is, a show about idiots diving. To be honest, I actually much prefer the more gentle approach for Ramen show. But there is some merit to this show as well. And even though I don't really feel the need to be staring at butt naked butts of guys, the girls are relatively attractive, and the plot does seem solid, if a bit bare. As I mentioned earlier, you can find this one streaming on Amazon. There's a severe lack of magical girls in anime this season, something which isn't helped dramatically by Review Starlight, which isn't in itself a magical girls show. When I start watching it, I get sort of a Princess Tutu style vibe, where all the characters are actors on a stage and the entire world revolves around them and their acting school. And that's pretty much what it's about. It's about girls going to an acting school. You got girls in the A grade, which are the actors and the actresses, and you got girls in the B grade, which are the ones which are the production assistants. They're the ones who help produce things. But it's firmly about the girls in the A group. Let's be honest, they're the ones which people really pay attention to. And so we meet our main character, Karen, who, she's a bit of a ditch, she's not exactly the best girl in school. I'm trying to remember, I think she was something like rank 99 actually when she was introduced. She's not exactly the highest one, but she's definitely energetic and enthusiastic for the stage. You got to go over that. And then we get promptly introduced to about a dozen other characters, which I got to be honest, I can't really remember the names of. You got the prima donna, you got the rich girl, you've got the best friend, you've got the sporty girl, you got one called Banana for some reason. But basically got loads of girls, colour coded for convenience, and our main character, who always wears a crown in her hair. A little hairpin, so to speak. And everything's going well. We're preparing for their third year, I think it's the third year, is it, of school? And yeah, everything's happy, we go lucky in it. Until a exchange student turns up. It's Karen's old friend from when she was very young. It's Hikari, who has returned from studying in England under a very famous dance school, and now is back in Japan to study in this school. And initially everything seems fine. I mean, she's perfect in class. She's by far the most talented of a lot of them, and everything's going right. I mean, I'm beginning to wonder what's going on with the show, to be honest, at this point, because everything's perfect. There's a bit of drama with friendships and old friends, new friends. But other than that, there's nothing really to talk about. And then it happens. At the end of the show, the series takes a very, very Shaft-like twist. As Karen, running back to school one evening to try and pick up something she's lost, I actually think she's chasing after Hikari actually, but she uses the excuse that she's looking for something, ends up travelling down a lift. A lift which doesn't exist before. And when I say lift, I mean the entire wall travels down with her. It's very stylised and very Shaft. I mean, this isn't Shaft, it's another, I'm not quite sure who's actually animating it, but if you told me it was Shaft, I would believe you. And then, down the bottom there, we get what can only be described almost like a Utena style fight between two characters on a special stage designed just for them. Very choreographed, very dramatical. Bow and arrow versus knife. And they're fighting. I mean, they are seriously fighting. We don't know the consequences of their fight, although they're fighting over the Starlight Review. Meanwhile, our main character Karen is just sitting there watching next to a giraffe. Yes, I said that right, there's a giraffe. Why there's a random giraffe in the audience, I have no idea, but a giraffe can talk. And not wanting to see her two friends fight, Karen jumps onto a stage. And of course, jumping onto a stage means she has to take part in it as well. And lo and behold, here comes our magical girl transition. And this is not just traditional magical girl style outfits. They're not wearing frilly tutus. They're wearing proper review style cloaks with buttons and full on regalia. It's a theatrical fight. And Karen manages to defeat the girl with a bow and arrow. Although she's told not to by Hikari. Why that is, no idea. Is there some kind of consequence to losing in this fight? Is there some kind of consequence to winning this fight? Who knows? We're sure to find out next episode. I'm really looking forward to seeing what's happening in the next episode. I mean, it's right on the border of being great. It's okay, it's watchable, but it's reliant on what's going to happen. This has serious vibes of Madoka about it. But we've seen so many dark magical girl shows that it could get muddled up together. The acting thing's different, but we'll see how it goes. You can find this one on High Dive. You know what? Anime and makers love Hot Springs episodes. It's a perfect excuse to take your well-defined characters and show off their well-defined proportions with added steam. I mean, steam's a bonus because I've got some legitimate reason to censor things for the broadcast release, so I can uncensor it for the Blu-ray. But what would happen if you took that sort of concept and turned it into a 12-episode series? Well, I don't know if it's 12 episodes, but that's exactly what we got this time out, with Yuuna and the Haunted Hot Springs coming in as our last show of the season. Yuuna and the Haunted Hot Springs isn't about Yuuna. It's actually about the male main character. It's about Kogarashi. Now, he is an exorcist, well, a medium anyway, and he's been sent to the Hot Springs in order to exorcise an evil spirit. And he's quite good at it. Apparently, anyway. He's almost like the one-punch man of exorcisms. He's one-punch exorcist. He can defeat any ghost or spirit by punching him into heaven. And that's what he's planning on doing here, until he realises that the spirit isn't an evil spirit, it's just a girl. And he doesn't want to punch a girl because he doesn't want to punch a girl. To be fair, Yuuna's also a very pretty girl. She's very attractive. She's got ample bosom. She's just dead. She's quite spirited though. And so we start getting a weird romantic comedy between a medium who wants to exorcise her and a ghost who doesn't want to be exorcised. I end up living in the same room because anime. Well, Yuuna's apparently locked out room, but she still goes to Hot Springs and floats outside. And Kogarashi decides to stay there rather than trying to exercise her normally. Since he doesn't want to punch a girl, he just wants to exercise her the correct way. And that is by making her no longer having any regrets back in this world. You know what that's going to tell, don't you? So she's going to end up falling for him. And he's going to end up falling for her. And we're not going to want to say goodbye to each other. But by the end of the season, they're almost certainly going to have to do that. Unless they're planning for a sequel, in which case, they can put it off a bit. Now, it'd be wrong to say that Yuuna and the Haunted Hot Springs is just about Yuuna and Kogarashi. There's another bunch of random anime girls to go in the Hot Springs as well. Now, gotta be honest, I can't remember their names. I remember you got the angry one who wants to kill everything. You got the cute innkeeper, the busty one. There's a kind of one there somewhere, but I can't remember them all. But I'm sure we'll meet them in future episodes anyway. But the first episode was wholly about Yuuna and Kogarashi. Getting to know Yuuna, getting to know Kogarashi, and getting them set up in their room. Now, Yuuna and the Haunted Hot Springs is seemingly very Harry and fan service. Of course it is, it's out of Hot Springs. But it isn't wrong, it isn't disgusting. It's very likeable, it's very soft and approachable anime. If you don't like fan service, then why the heck are you thinking about watching a show about Hot Springs? You go to Hot Springs and anime, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get tits and asses. This one you're going to get tits, asses, and a floating ghost which is adorable. You can find it on Crunchyroll. And that's this season done with. I'd say it's been quite a success. There's been plenty of good shows, lots of shows to completely ignore, and some good ones to try out if you're not sure. Well, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Join me again in autumn for the next preview, guys. Bye bye.